So the next kit we're going to put up is the white Muscari candle kit. So for the past couple of years we've done candle kits for the Christmas sort of season, and they always sell out so quickly. And this year was the first year actually that we've had messages from people asking if we could do a sort of New Year kind of spring version of the candle kits that we do for Christmas. And I love that idea. I'm still really, well, I suppose throughout the entire year really, but I'm very much actively lighting candles in my home at the moment. You know, as soon as I get home from work, pick up the kids, straight in, candles lit. And I just really love the idea that we can have a candle kit for your homes where you can have that beautiful cozy ambience and then also have the spring element in there as well. So in your candle kits, you will have your 12 centimetre terracotta pot and saucer, you'll have your gravel, you'll have your compost, you'll have your moss, you'll have your Muscari bulbs, you'll have your birch twigs, and you'll have your dried thyme. I don't know why that's it. Your dried thyme. And your candle, I think I mentioned that. Anyway, so what we need to do first is add in the gravel to the bottom of our pots. So making sure, dusty, making sure your pot is on your saucer. So you have quite a lot of gravel in the candle kits, and the main purpose of the gravel is just to add or to give the candle some structure, some support, yeah, so that it doesn't wobble around. So add in all of your gravel, and then add in a sort of handful or two of your compost, or basically just the compost that you've got in your kits. Okay. And now I'm going to pop in the candle, and I'm just going to sort of push that down so that it gets to the gravel, give it a wiggle, and then sort of build around it, and then that feels, yeah, structurally secure. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of some of this mess. Okay, you can tell I've not done this for a few months. Sorry, I'm out of practice. And if you've not watched the previous tutorial on the Muscari kits, where I apologise for the abundance of black flies in the studio. We have them in our roof at the moment, so we're getting them sorted, but it's just taking a bit of time, and they're just everywhere. I mean, they don't really bother me. They don't give me like the heebie-jeebies or anything, but they're just really annoying. So I'm just really sorry that there's probably black flies flying around my head. Anyway, and the noise as well from the building next door. Right, so after we've added in our compost and our candle, I'm then going to put in the bulbs. So you take the bulbs out of their pot, she says. Oh, I've got an extra pot there. And then we're going to basically just break them up. And you can be really assertive. Do not worry about the roots. They will grow back. It doesn't matter that you're sort of ripping them apart. It's absolutely fine. So you want your individual Muscari bulbs to go around your candle. Okay. And now what we just need to do is basically take the roots and just sort of nest them underneath your Muscari bulb, and then pop them directly on top of the compost. So I just give it a little twiddle and then sit it on top. You don't have to do that. You can literally just plonk them straight on. That is absolutely fine. And if you get one like this where it's kind of almost growing another bulb, I personally just take that off. I don't know if that would grow another Muscari flower. If I left it on, maybe I'd find out. But I prefer them to just have the sort of the individual bulb, so I do tend to take that off. This one actually I will leave on because there's green shoots. So maybe that answers that question. Maybe they do grow more flowers. So you're just popping your bulbs onto the compost. They don't need to be sort of bedded in. They don't need to be, the roots don't need to be covered by the compost. They are very sturdy little things that are very unfussy. They don't need a lot of attention. Okay, so I'm just allowing those roots to hang over the side of the pot, because I think personally I just think it looks beautiful. And then we're going to pop on top of bulbs our moss. So this is flat moss. It's like a woodlandy kind of feel. You might have twigs and pine cones. And I'm just breaking it up into little kind of pieces and just tucking it in between the bulbs, basically where the compost is or the roots are. So I'm just popping it on top of the spaces where there's either compost or roots, or both. And then a nice sort of little tip is, if you want to be able to see those sort of brown papery skins of your bulbs, which I personally think looks lovely against the moss, you can do a little thing where you basically just pull them out and sit them back on top. So you're basically just putting your fingers either side of your bulb, you're taking your bulb gently in between your other two fingers, lifting it slightly, and then just sitting it back on top. So you're just pulling it out and then sitting it back on top. And that way the roots are underneath the moss, but the bulb is on top. So you're not sort of hiding those bulbs with the moss. Gosh, I keep knocking everything, like all fingers and thumbs today. Okay. And the ones around the back. And now you can just see those gorgeous bulbs sat on top of the moss. And then you've got the roots spilling out over, and it just all looks so contrasting and so textured and just really gorgeous. Okay, so now we can add in our birch twigs. So in your kit you'll have birch twigs and dried thyme. And again, another apology, the thyme is coming tomorrow, so I have only got a teeny tiny amount to sort of demo with, but it's enough. It's, you know, it's all we need. But yeah, apologise that I didn't time that very well. Okay, so I'm just popping in my birch twigs. You can cut them down if you want to. You can leave them taller, but we're kind of aiming to get them sort of not too close, obviously, to the candle. Now, I know a lot of you who buy the candle kits don't necessarily like them. You keep them, which obviously is fine. I personally like to light mine when I have them in my house, but I guess I have to say this, and I know it's a massive eye roll because it's so obvious, and you know, we're all adults. We know how to look after candles. We know not to leave candles unattended at any time. You know, we all know that, but I'm just going to say it just so that I know I've ticked it off. So when you light your candle kit, don't leave it unattended, please. Just keep an eye on it. You know, obviously when it's getting quite low, it's probably best to kind of just grab a new one and replace the candle. You know, just buy a new candle, and just so that I can sleep easy at night knowing that you're not burning it right down to the bottom and risking, you know, setting anything on fire. But yeah, just keep the kind of twigs away from where the candle will be, and we can all be safe. Okay. So the birch isn't in need of any kind of like water source, so you don't need to sort of worry about it going down into the compost too far. It's absolutely fine. It's more just to be in so that it's structurally sturdy. Okay, and then I'm just going to add in the thyme. So as the Muscari grows, you can wind it around the candle, you can wind it around the birch twigs. I have tested this in many times, well 3 times, in my house, just to make sure it all works beautifully. The candle doesn't affect the Muscari, and obviously, as I said, just don't let it go too low, because then obviously you're going to have a wax on bulb situation, which I'm not sure would favour the bulbs too highly. But yeah, they aren't affected by the warmth of the candle, which is good. Okay, so that's the dry time in. I'm going to light it so you can see what it looks like and go through some care tips. So with the Muscari, put it somewhere, or anywhere really. It's really not fussy. The warmer the place you put it, the quicker it will grow. That's basically the only kind of defining thing between a cool room and a warm room. Just allow it to grow beautifully. Once the white flowers have gone brown, you can cut them off. And then when the leaves of the bulbs have gone yellow, you can then cut them down and put them straight into the garden, about 4 inches deep, facing upwards, or you can put them in a brown paper bag, of which you will have some from your kit, if you want to save that for after it's finished. Put the bulbs into a brown paper bag, store it somewhere cool and dark, and then you can plant those out in the autumn, ideally in October. And then they'll come back year after year, and then you've got a beautiful pot that is just such a good versatile size that you can use for anything. You can put some herbs in there, you can put more bulbs in there, but yeah, it's just a kit that kind of hopefully will keep giving. So you'll have your bulbs coming every spring, and you'll have your pot to use for something else as beautiful. Okay, and that's it. So that is your little white Muscari candle kit.